This is Biz with Tanya, brought to you by Wiz Digital Academy, a show for business athletes and online bosses who are ready to take up. Hello, business athletes. Now, this is a long time coming. It's been a minute, a hot minute, I admit, since I've actually published a video or a podcast, and today I'm gonna talk to you about what has been happening with my life. So it's Sunday afternoon, glass of wine. I just came back from church. I'm about to start making lunch, and I thought to myself, let me quickly record this and give you an update, tell you what's been happening, what's changed, what's gonna be happening here moving forward, and some stuff that I'm bringing into the podcast. So, what's been happening? So, the last podcast I would have recorded, I think, will date back from either late January or early February, and then I just released a few of my old freebies as podcast episodes. And if you hadn't listened to that, I mentioned in an episode back, where I said I didn't want to have any lead magnet anymore because I was changing my approach. I had changed my approach to marketing. I wasn't really focusing on lead generation anymore. I was more focused on revenue generation. And I am going to be recording a podcast episode to give you insight into that and why you could consider changing your marketing approach from lead generation to revenue, a focus on revenue generation instead of trying to constantly get leads and most of those leads don't convert. I actually even wrote a piece about that. So one of the things that also had been happening was that late last year, I decided that I was going to launch a publication. If you haven't been following me on social media, you might not have heard about it, but it's called Business Creep Magazine. Right now, the blog is currently active. We're currently working on the edition of the magazine. So the blog is where we share more resources, weekly, bi-weekly articles, but the magazine is where we'll be doing a lot more of the interviews, a lot more of the insights, a lot more depth content, in-depth content that has to do with building, growing businesses. And the reason why I had decided to make that change, to make the shifts, was that one, I was tired of just talking about marketing. I am not one-dimensional. It's I love marketing. Don't get me wrong. I think anybody that hears me talk about marketing will know that absolutely love marketing. This is my passion. This is what I wanted to do. I love it. But
we will be back shortly with your episode. Right now, let's hear a quick word from today's episode sponsor.
Are you looking for a simple way to start making sales? Then you'll want to check out our coaching program, Easy Sales Blueprint. Finally, an easy way to sell your program or service. Discover the simple steps to creating a lucrative coaching or consulting business. The Easy Sales Blueprint gives you a step-by-step method to easily make more sales without spending all day on social media, cold outreach, and hitting the door to try a good old-fashioned door-to-door sales system. Apply today by heading to tiny.cc/getmoresales to find out how we can help you achieve online sales success. But as an entrepreneur, there are certain realities that comes with building a business, and it's not always marketing. It is a number of things that you have to do in the back end that is not always marketing. And I felt that there weren't enough conversations around a lot of the things that entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, startup funders should know about, from the systems that they should put in place into their business, to exit planning, revenue planning, all these things that normally entrepreneurs should be equipped with. A lot of times they're not equipped with that. So what would be the revenue model? What would be the business model? All these things, planning for those things. These were things that were not being discussed as much online, especially in the digital business space in which I operate in. Of course, I have other people in my audience that are more into the brick and mortar businesses. I have some entrepreneurs that follow me that are digital entrepreneurs, but more in the tech space. So their life is a lot different, especially because a lot of them are venture backed or are raising funding. So they often are exposed to that, but a lot of people that are digital native businesses like myself that offer services, courses, training, and things like that, a lot of us did not have the tools. And I'll admit, in the earlier years of launching the business, I've made a ton of mistake. I've made a ton of mistake, and I think in a recent episode that is going to come through that I recorded with an executive coach, I mentioned the mistakes that I've made in terms of hiring and in terms of leading myself, in terms of what to recognize in bad clients and how to create company culture. These things were so important, but I feel like I had to learn it on the fly because I had to find out during the process. And Business Creed is a platform where I wanted to be able to share a lot more of that. So was that I'll leave the link to the blog. Then there's also a link to sign up for the bi-monthly magazine that comes with a monthly newsletter as well as some masterclass on a monthly basis, as well as some resources monthly to help you with your marketing in your business. And the reason why I particularly wanted to create that was that in the early days of my business, I won't lie, I couldn't afford a lot of the resources that I can afford today. And so I would have wanted somewhere where I could read business model breakdowns, revenue modeling breakdowns, things of the sort where I could get insight and not just the marketing, but also like what are the mistakes? Let's say if I liked a particular brand, what are the mistakes that they've made with their marketing and the revenue modeling? What they should be doing? What is working, what is not? And I could be able to pick up what could work for me or not. And I wanted to create that kind of resource for other entrepreneurs, especially those that are not in the marketing sector. I speak to a lot of brilliant entrepreneurs that have brilliant ideas, but often the biggest problem that would have is presenting the offers, articulating the offers, really creating a marketing plan. And sometimes they can't afford those services. And I wanted a resource that could be a tool for them. Like recently I was speaking with somebody and he was like, I want to launch a company where I want to supply a supply company. I want to supply mining companies and everything. And he was talking to me about sending proposals and everything. And when we spoke, I told him that I showed him the reasons why that approach that he had been told wouldn't work and what he had to think about. And he really appreciated that. But the thing is, not a lot of people can afford the one-on-one consultations. So the newsletter, which is called Enterprise de Pointe, which I kind of took it from French because I'm also French speaking, which means entreprise de pointe, simply mean a business that has been well fit, that has been well structured. So that's the reason why we named that enterprise de pointe, so that it can be a point of reference for entrepreneurs. So on Business Create, the link is there. We also have a free newsletter where we send you a roundup of articles as well as podcast episodes that we share, that we record. It comes out every Tuesday. And if you join our newsletter today, you get 3 guides, which is social media boost, what you can do to boost your social media so you can gain a lot more visibility. Then we also have 10 ways to write more effective ads, which also can be used to write more effective messaging. So you have that guide there, and the entrepreneurship mindset, things that you need to work with mentally here, because the thing is with Business, sales, marketing, it's here first. When you sort out here, you get things going. So that's it on Business Crate. So if you haven't heard about Business Crate, that's that. I also intend to share a lot more stories from the place where I'm from, which is the African continent. For many people that don't know, I'm a Pan African. I believe in the principles of Pan Africanism, so I don't necessarily define myself as a person from a particular nation, but I define myself as an African first and see myself as an African first. So one of the things that I noticed was that there weren't enough conversations being had that was portraying Africa in its true light. Yes, we have our issues, I ain't gonna lie, but we also have a good side. And last year, I was speaking to a venture capitalist, and he mentioned, because I was asking, why is it that African startups are having difficulties raising funding? And especially like in Silicon Valley and other parts of the world. And the one thing he had told me was that Africans were not doing enough to showcase Africa in a better light. So a lot of people had this particular idea of Africa. I mean, till this day, I sometimes get questioned around whether I have a lion for a pet when the only place I have seen a lion is in the zoo. And I wouldn't even get close to that cage just in case, because you never know if my village people will be looking for me that day. So we weren't doing that. But we still get these kind of questions that I'm like, ¿qué pasa? And it's also because a lot of the marketing PR people on the continent, we are not doing enough to showcase our continent in a better light. And I wanted to be part of a movement of change where my platforms will also be used to share more stories of success and amazing places to visit on the continent and things like that. So there's a lifestyle section there. So yeah, we'll be sharing a lot more on the African continent as well. Stories of success, stories of great businesses, inspiring stories from entrepreneurs from the continent that have made it against all odds, and things like that. Hmm. Let's do better, Africans. If you're an African, let's do better. Let's start portraying our continent in a better light, and that also can help all founders raise capital, which is then invested on the continent, and which means more employment is created for people, and this is how we play a role. Now, enough about business creed. As to how my content is going to change. So this is just a quick catch up, hey? Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Do you dream of financial freedom? Are you tired of the rat race and would like more time with your loved one and friends, making memories that will last you a lifetime? You may want to download Building a 20 Million Portfolio, How I Created Financial Freedom by Aurelian Amaka, a successful entrepreneur, founder of System IO, and author. So why not give it a try? Download Aurelian's book now and start building your own path to financial freedom by heading to tiny.cc/freedombee. I'm still going to have the podcast, but I'm going to be releasing either tutorials or conversations, podcast episodes, as well as other type of content, sometimes collaborations on the channel as well as on the podcast. And I'm bringing a series within the podcast, which is called Meet the Business Athletes. And it's about having conversations with entrepreneurs that I admire and that I believe are breaking rules and that they are doing business their way and are choosing to run their business not in the normal norm and not in what is expected, and they are making a success of it. So this series will be incorporated into the podcast. So you will sometimes see Biz Talk, and then you will sometimes see Meet the Business Athletes, and they will be, so you will be able to recognize the series within the the podcast, as well as the fact that we will have a podcast for Business Creed. We're working on that, and we are self-funded. We are bootstrapping, so the support that you can do, if you want to support this initiative, share articles if you are reading on the blog, share articles with a friend. That helps us because then we are able to we will be able to monetize through advertising eventually, as well as go join the Business Insider, because there's a link down there you can look into it, Business Creator Insider, and the goal is to create a community that is going to be not only about sharing what I just told you about, but also where we can meet up at least once a month, network, have conversation, collaborate, find how we can bring people together and collaborate. Where I can bring some of my mentors. I mean, I have an amazing mentor, I swear, and I'm talking with him to have a workshop, kind of masterclass within the Business Insider, and he's a former merger and acquisition consultant. He had a merger and acquisition company business that he eventually sold. So one of the things I love about him, he exited his business initially when he couldn't exit, and then changed it around. So a lot of the strategies that he used to change the business so you could exit, as well as well as how to make your business viable, how to make your to increase the value of your business, the goodwill of your business, how to put structures in place. These are a lot of the things that I've learned from him. The strategies. What are the strategic things you need to focus on? The principles, the things that you need to focus on your business, so you can grow, scale, and eventually exit, if that is the goal, and not lose money into the investment that you are creating your asset in. So I'm really going to invite him to have a masterclass within the Business Insider Creed. So if you want to be part of such events, where I'll be inviting venture capitalists, I'll be inviting people from different backgrounds that can help you as an entrepreneur and me as an entrepreneur to create better businesses, then join the community. Hell, it's only $10 per month at the least. So it's not gonna cost you an arm and a leg, and it's going to support us, and it's also going to create a resource for you, for me, and for other entrepreneurs that will need that. So I'll leave the link to that below. So that was what had been happening. So we are coming back with all the content. I was tired. I needed to figure out a rhythm for myself, because a lot of good things have been happening in the back end. And I needed to find a way to balance things, and I was overwhelmed. And now I think I've figured things out. I've found a way to make things work, and hopefully we're going to be a lot more present now that we've figured that out, because we are creating different things. So I have a few episodes already for you that you are going to enjoy, where I have another amazing guest here. She has an entertainment channel as well as a podcast as well. Amazing woman, powerhouse. She's also a luxury real estate realtor, and you're going to enjoy the conversation. She's super amazing. I love her to bits. I really love that girl and what she's doing on the mission. So few things that are going to be quite interesting. So you might want to subscribe, share with somebody, because this is going to be hot. I'm actually glad that I'm podcasting again. I've been missing it. I won't lie, I've been missing it, but I needed the time off. I needed the time off to figure things out around myself, my business, and the direction I wanted to take, which now we figured it out. Obviously, by now, if you don't know, we have I have divided the business into different divisions. We are building it into different divisions. We still have the coaching side of the business, but that is with Digital Academy, where we teach, we train businesses as well as other entrepreneurs. And we have with Digital Marketing, where we take over the marketing for other businesses, and also provide advisory services to other businesses. So that is basically what we have, and we have, of course, Business Creed. So if you want to understand the reason why I've divided it like this. I'm actually going to be writing about it on inside Enterprise the Point, the monthly newsletter, the paid one, $10 a month, really ain't gonna kill you. But I'm going to be explaining to you why I did that, what is my thinking behind that, and what is lead has led to that change and what is the purpose. So I'll be explaining that within the paid newsletter so that if you feel like, okay, now this makes sense, I might want to do that, then you can actually take the strategy and leverage that. But yeah, so we've divided things like this, as well as that in the upcoming few months, we might actually be bringing licensing into our IP because we have a number of IP that we have within the business and that we deploy and that we teach. So we will be licensing it eventually. So we are in the works for that. But as well as let me not forget, I'm actually writing my book on marketing because I've had a few people online, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn that will ask me like, "Girl, have you thought about writing a book?" And I realized that I had thought about it, and I was supposed to write it last year, but I was scared that nobody would buy my book. And then I love the fact that Christine, shout out to you, Christine, for pointing out the fact that if people are asking about your book, it means they would be willing to buy your book because they feel that you have something to say that they want to learn. So after she said that, I actually sat down and because she was one of the people that asked me about it. So shout out to you. Thanks for giving me the encouragement. And now I sat down to myself, I'm like, okay, what will this book be about? So it's about marketing, how I approach marketing, and how to create a sales content system. I actually speak about sales content system inside in on the blog for Business Create. So I'll leave the link to that particular article so that you understand that. So I'm going to be writing about that, the sales content system that I created, which is the APK method. And this is more about messaging and sales and using content for sales. So I'm writing that book finally. I've had the courage and I've actually written a few pages into it. So wish me luck. Hopefully before the end of the year or latest next year it should be here. But I'm hoping to finish it this year. So I think I filled you up on everything that has been happening in my life. Yes, I've moved. Background has changed. I've moved. But that's it. That has been my life. So we've been busy. It's not, we've really been busy, and I'm grateful for those that have subscribed, even though I wasn't around and wasn't producing content. I'm grateful for. I got a comment and that was the comment that even encouraged me to come back earlier because it was about how somebody was looking forward to seeing my channel grow because he or she enjoyed the content. And I was like, you know what? I have a duty to actually bring back the thing because one of the reasons that I create content, as much as it is to fuel my business, create content as a form of giving back and showing people that it's doable. So teaching people that the things that I've wished I knew or things that I've learned that took me a while to figure out that so if I can give you something that can save you the time and stress that I had to go through as a new entrepreneur, first of all, it will help you make more money. Second of all, you might decide to work with us because we've already helped you with the content that we create. So it's a win-win situation for me either way. Even if you never work with me, if I've helped you land a few clients, gain insight into marketing and how to do things, how to structure your business, mistakes to avoid, I'm happy. I'm really happy. So that's it. So if you are new here, follow me on social media. I'm on LinkedIn. You just have to search my name, Tanya Kabuya. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram, but I'm mostly active on Facebook and LinkedIn. Instagram is more about personal life. I don't really share that many tips, so those ones you only find it on the blog or here or on LinkedIn, on my LinkedIn newsletter. Yes, we're bringing that one back too. There should be a new one out this week as you see this. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the year. I'm grateful for the break, and I can't wait to share what we've been working on and things that we are doing. But other than that, if you would like to work with us, check out the link in the description where you can book a consultation with myself or my team, and we will discuss how we can support you with your marketing, whether you need training or you want our team to support you as an extension of your team, or if you want us to advise as a fractional CMO or a fractional head of marketing, we are happy to provide you that level of support. So you just have to book a consultation and we'll have that discussion. But on this note, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.